You wake up and you know the feeling. It's already there, that subtle tension in your chest, that feeling of bracing for the day's battles. You grind through your to-do list, put out fires, and by the end of the day, you're just exhausted, only to wake up and do it all over again. There's this quiet desperation humming just beneath the surface of modern life, isn't there? A sense that no matter how much you do, it's never quite enough. You've probably accepted this as normal, as just the price of admission. The constant push, the grind, the relentless need to keep moving forward. But what if it's not normal? What if, in our race to do everything, we're missing the entire point? What if this constant draining struggle is a choice you don't even realize you're making every single day? The writer and philosopher Stuart Wilde once said, "Life was never meant to be a struggle, just a gentle progression from one point to another, much like walking through a valley on a sunny day." It's a beautiful thought, but for most of us, it feels like a total fantasy. We're not walking through a sunny valley, we're climbing a vertical cliff face in a thunderstorm. The exhaustion is real. That feeling of being stuck, of just spinning your wheels, is palpable. And the worst part is the quiet resignation that this is just what it takes to be successful or have a meaningful life. We've been sold this idea that struggle is noble, that burnout is some kind of badge of honor. But what if that's the biggest lie we've ever been told? What if the very act of fighting is what's holding you back from the peace and flow that is your natural state? This isn't about giving up, it's about giving in to a smarter, softer, and way more powerful way of being. So, where did we even get this idea that life has to be a battle? From the time we're kids, most of us are programmed to see something noble in struggle. We hear stories of heroes who overcame impossible odds through sheer force of will. We're fed a cultural narrative, cranked up to 11 by today's hustle culture, that glorifies the grind. It's a mindset that screams at you. If you're not working longer, harder, and faster than everyone else, you're already losing. This hustle porn, as some call it, gives us a completely warped picture of success. It's the idea that you have to sacrifice your sleep, your relationships, and your mental health on the altar of achievement. It makes you think being busy is the same as being productive, and that rest is just a synonym for laziness. But as more and more people are finding out the hard way, that's just a fast track to burnout. Busy doesn't mean productive. It often just means you're spreading your energy so thin that you're not really moving the needle on anything important, all while creating massive stress for yourself. The philosopher Stuart Wilde had a brilliant way of putting it. He didn't define struggle as effort. He defined it as effort laced with negative emotion. Think about that for a second. It's not the work itself that breaks us. It's the resistance, the anxiety, and the desperation we tie to it. There's a universe of difference between inspired action and forced struggle. Inspired action flows. It feels energizing, even when it's hard. Struggle feels like you're trying to push a river upstream. It's draining, frustrating, and in the end, it just doesn't work. The real problem with being programmed for struggle is that it becomes our default setting. Even when things are going great, a project is flowing, a relationship feels easy, an alarm goes off in our head. Some unconscious part of us goes, "Wait, this is too easy. Let's self-destruct this so we can get back to what feels familiar, things being hard." And so we unconsciously sabotage our own success and happiness just to get back to the familiar discomfort of the fight. We've been taught to value the climb so much that we have no idea how to just exist on the mountaintop. This glorification of struggle is maybe the most damaging myth of our time. It tells us our worth is measured by our productivity, and if we aren't constantly striving, we're failing. But the truth is, it's all an illusion. Life wasn't meant to be a constant battle. It was meant to be a dance. And the first step to changing the rhythm is realizing you're the one leading. All right, this next part might be a little tough to swallow, but it's also the most empowering thing you could ever realize. You are the source of your own struggle. Now, hold on. This is not about blame. It's not an excuse to beat yourself up for feeling stressed or exhausted. It's the exact opposite. It's about reclamation. It's about taking your power back. As Stuart Wilde wrote, by having the courage to identify and face the causes of struggle in your life, you grant yourself the power to transcend. Once you accept that you are the cause, you can then say with absolute certainty that all the struggle in your life can be eliminated. This is the whole key. If your struggle was all because of external things, the economy, your boss, your family, you'd be a victim, totally powerless. But if the struggle starts from within, from your beliefs, your perceptions, your reactions, then you hold the keys to your own freedom. The universe is impartial. It just gives you more of what you believe. It'll hand you garbage or it'll hand you roses, depending on the energy you're putting out. You're the one in charge here. To make this point, Wilde humorously created what he called the Struggler's Hall of Fame. You might even recognize some of these folks. There's the chronic complainer who feels validated by everything that goes wrong. There's the professional martyr who secretly gets a kick out of self-sacrifice. And of course, the overachiever trapped in a loop of setting impossible goals and then feeling like a failure for not hitting them. Which one sounds a little familiar? Be honest with yourself. Recognizing your pattern isn't a criticism. It's the first step to rewriting it. The struggle isn't happening to you. It's being projected by you. Your inner world is creating your outer world. If you have a deep down belief that you have to fight for everything you get, then you will constantly create battles to fight. Taking responsibility means you stop waiting for someone or something else to come and fix things. It's knowing you have a divine right to peace and abundance, but you're the one who has to claim it. This isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. It starts with having the courage to look in the mirror and ask, what beliefs am I holding on to that make my life feel like an uphill battle? The moment you stop blaming the world and start observing your own inner state is the moment you climb into the driver's seat of your life. The journey away from struggle doesn't start by changing your circumstances. It starts by changing your mind. Our society is obsessed with force. We're taught to push harder, be aggressive, and conquer our challenges with brute strength. But when we try to hammer the world into the shape we want, we just create enormous resistance and end up exhausted and bruised when it doesn't comply. This is where we have to learn a deep, paradoxical truth. As Stuart Wilde often said, there is strength in softness. Remember, it's all backwards. This idea is the heart of philosophies like Taoism, captured in the concept of Wu Wei, often translated as effortless action. This isn't about being lazy or passive. It's about acting in harmony with the natural flow of life instead of fighting against it. Think of Bruce Lee's famous advice, be like water. Water is the perfect example of Wu Wei. It's soft and yielding, but it can overcome anything. It doesn't fight the rock in its path. It just flows around it, finding the path of least resistance. This is the essence of moving from struggle to flow. You stop being the rock, rigid, brittle, fighting for your spot, and you become the water, adaptable, persistent, and incredibly powerful in your gentleness. Living this way means shifting from your analytical, cerebral mind to a more intuitive, heart-centered way of being. Your cerebral mind wants to plan everything, control every outcome, and strategize every move. It's the part of you that creates anxiety and overthinking. A life of flow, on the other hand, is guided by a deeper intelligence. It's about trusting your gut and having a little faith in the process of life itself. This requires what Wilde called a fluid mindset. You can have a goal, you can have a plan, but you have to be unattached to exactly how it all unfolds. You head in the direction you want to go, but you trust the universe to handle the details. You learn to read the currents. When you feel massive resistance, you don't just push harder, you pause. You ask, is there another way? Is there a path of least resistance I'm not seeing? Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Just wait for the right moment, for the tide to turn in your favor. This softness also changes how you deal with people. Instead of coming at them with force, trying to argue or control them, you learn to lead with questions, with listening, with compassion. You create connection, not conflict. As Wilde taught, love is letting people go. By detaching from their drama, you can actually be there for them from a higher, more stable place without getting sucked into their struggle. Embracing this principle takes real courage. It means letting go of the illusion that you're in control. It means trading the false security of being rigid for the true power of being adaptable. It feels backwards because it is backwards from everything we've been taught. We're told to be strong like an oak tree, but the oak shatters in the storm while the bamboo bends and survives. The strength you're really looking for isn't in how hard you can push, but in how gracefully you can flow. Knowing the philosophy is one thing, but actually putting it into practice is what changes your life. This isn't just about abstract ideas, it's about making real shifts in your daily life. Here are 3 practical tools inspired by Stuart Wilde's work that you can start using today. Above all else, struggle is a massive waste of energy. We pour our life force into jobs that drain us, relationships that exhaust us, and worries that go nowhere. The first step is to become a conscious manager of your personal energy. Grab a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, list everything that drains you: activities, people, even thoughts. On the other side, list everything that energizes you, that makes you feel alive. Be brutally honest. That high-paying job that makes you miserable? It's a drain. That friend who only ever complains? A drain. Mindlessly scrolling through negative news? A massive drain. Now look at your list. The goal is simple: minimize what's on the drain list and maximize what's on the gain list. This means you have to start making ruthless decisions about where you invest your attention. It might mean saying no more often, a crucial skill for an effortless life. It might mean letting go of people who are pulling you down to make room for those who lift you up. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Stop spending it on things that make you spiritually bankrupt. So much of our struggle comes from being obsessively attached to how things should be. We create a perfect blueprint in our minds, and then we suffer when reality doesn't match it. The practice of detachment is about releasing that iron grip. It's the wisdom of doing your best and then letting go of the results. A powerful way to practice this is with affirmations. An affirmation isn't just wishful thinking, it's a tool to consciously reprogram the limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in struggle. Start with a simple, powerful one. I flow freely with life and all my needs are met with ease. Repeat this to yourself all day long. Say it when you wake up. Say it when you feel stress building. Say it before you fall asleep. Write it on a sticky note and put it on your bathroom mirror. The point is to saturate your consciousness with this new, better reality. Combine this with a physical practice Wilde called the soft eye. When you're stressed, your gaze literally hardens. By consciously softening your eyes, relaxing your focus, and taking in your peripheral vision, you send a signal to your nervous system to calm down. It shifts you out of fight or flight and into a state of relaxed awareness. The modern world is a non-stop storm of noise. To find our flow, we have to create pockets of inner silence. This is where meditation becomes a necessity, not a luxury. Wilde was a big advocate for accessing the theta brainwave state, that deep, creative state of relaxation right before you fall asleep, where your mind is incredibly open to new ideas and insights. You don't have to be a Zen master to do this. Just start with 5 or 10 minutes a day. Find a quiet spot, sit or lie down comfortably, and close your eyes. Just focus on your breath. Don't try to stop your thoughts. Just let them drift by like clouds. To go deeper, try a simple visualization. Imagine a gentle stream of light flowing down through the top of your head, filling your whole body with warmth and peace. As you relax, you might feel a sense of floating or lightness. This is the gateway to the theta state. In this space, you're connecting with your infinite self, the part of you that is calm, wise, and already knows the way. Regular practice will help you detach from fear, manage your emotions, and build a solid foundation of inner peace that no external chaos can shake. For too long, we've been conditioned to see life as a battlefield. We've been taught that our value lies in how hard we can fight and how much we can endure. But we're starting to wake up to a deeper truth. Constant struggle isn't a virtue. It's a symptom of being disconnected from our true nature. Life was never meant to be a struggle. That doesn't mean a passive life. It means a life of intelligent, aligned action. It's the difference between trying to force a door open and simply finding the right key. The journey starts when you realize that you are the author of your own experience. By seeing through the lie that glorifies hardship, by taking radical responsibility for your inner world, and by embracing the incredible strength found in softness, you start walking a completely different path. You learn to save your energy for what truly matters and to trust the beautiful unfolding of your life. You don't have to fight the river of life. You can learn to float. The power to transform your reality from a constant battle to a graceful flow has been inside you all along.